3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Today is a very special episode. As you can see, the setup is a lot different from what you usually see on my other episodes. It's Veterans Day today, and today we're making it about our latest loss, Charlie Kirk. It's a special episode on Charlie Kirk, and we're trying to spread his message here, so this is the point of this. So I'm going to introduce my guests here. On my very right, you got Rocky Villi. You might recognize him from a couple of episodes ago. He's the owner of Rock Family Therapy, LLC, also one of my sponsors. And right next to him, you got Raul Valencia. And he's new to the podcast, so we're just going to go ahead and ease the transition in here for him. But again, today's open forum. We got one more guest on the way. He's running a tad little late. So we're starting it just for time constraint purposes. So, guys, welcome to the podcast. And, what do you guys have to say to start this episode off?
Well, I'm glad to be here. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Service member. Thank you for this pin right here.
Oh, of course,
awesome.
yeah. Gifted a couple of pins to my guest here, High Speed Warrior pins. Go get them on my shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these are really nice pins, man. I really like this merch.
Thank you very much.
High Speed Warrior for sure, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, the both of you, for sure, man.
Yeah, thank you for your support.
Yeah, it's great to be around veterans on Veterans Day. Definitely have a lot of veterans in my family too. Got a big shout out, friends and family. So, grandfather, father, who were in the Army.
Good.
Had some friends, real good friends who passed, but they were Marines in the Marine Corps. So
Marines.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So big shout out to the veterans out there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So today we're making it about again spreading Charlie's message. I think it was very important what he did. As I said, I know he's made a lot of changes. He's had a big impact on what he's done, especially after his passing. Like church attendance has gone up, Bible sales have gone up. People are wanting to add to their families, myself included. So that's why it's a mess in here, because we're actually in the process of moving in preparing for another child. So yeah, like I said, his message is strong throughout the world, not just the United States of America, but throughout the world, I think. And that's why I wanted to bring all of it. It was actually your idea.
It was my idea.
It was Rocky's idea to put this episode together, and I was not going to turn this down. I was not going to turn this opportunity down at all, man. So if you want to elaborate on why you wanted to do this episode here today.
You know what? They truly say that a man's worth is where he puts his heart at. Charlie Kirk's heart was with the Lord.
Yeah.
And the only message I could say that comes from Charlie that I resonates the most with me is you can't be afraid to have your faith. I spent an entire career, we don't talk about it, right? You know, you keep your faith to yourself, right? Practice on your own.
Yeah.
You practice with your family, right? And I come to realize that, no, man, this message, it's bigger than my family. It's bigger than myself. It needs to be spread. That's the purpose of the message, of the gospel, that it's not meant for just me and my family, but it's meant for everyone.
Yeah.
And I no longer want to just keep it to myself. I actually want to include in everything, not just in my family, in my business, in my everyday dealings, that, God is king.
Right. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, because it's like when I personally went to his memorial in Arizona, and I couldn't tell you, and there's like no words to explain the power that I felt in there, right? I've never seen so many Christian men and women together in one spot, worshiping together, just message after message after message, man. The aura in that stadium was just different, something I'll probably never ever feel again. But yeah, we have to keep that legacy going, right?
Absolutely.
There was something else I was going to say. I'm so ADHD that it went one way out the other. But if I remember, I'll pick it back up. But what was your thought and all that?
And the passing of Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude, that hit me pretty hard at first. I remember the day that we were actually at work, Rocky and I, and I knew something was up right away with Rocky, because he's typically, has a lot of positive energy, and so when he came in and actually told me, you could just see this look in his face that was just like, like he'd just seen a ghost or something. And so I couldn't believe it actually either. I couldn't really I couldn't believe the news. And so
Yeah.
but he was a powerful force, man. You could tell that he had strong convictions. Charlie, I mean, just looking back on his legacy, even when he was here, I recall seeing one of his last appearances here at Legacy Church.
Okay.
And so the dude was just powerful, man. I mean, and he was led by his convictions from God, for sure. And I just remember even talking to a nephew of mine who's in his early 20s right now, and he's just like, man, I can't believe, Charlie Kirk died. I mean, he's the reason I'm going back to church now, or I'm, getting into church, and just so many young people, man. And for me, and working with youth, it's always he knew how to do that. It was great just to see how he his whole message was like, meet them where they're at, right?
Yeah.
And I think Rocky and I, as social workers, as clinicians, that's typically our motto, right? Is to meet people where they're at. And so
Yeah.
It's just sad, right? Because he was such a force, and you just want to continue to see that those types of people keep going, right? And so it was kind of like a light had just been cut out of life. And so
Yeah.
you also think about like who's gonna pick up the torch and carry on, because there's only like so many people who can do that, right? So it's
Yeah.
like a once in a generation kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it was very just very tragic, man. Just very sad.
Well, that's the point. It can't just be a one in generation thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's why I said I was adamant about today. I was like, no, we need to pick up the torch.
Yeah.
Right. We've
Right.
stood in the background too much. Matter of fact, you were one of the first people I called.
Yeah.
Right. It was hard. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
my
I remember that
goodness.
conversation.
I had a lot of hate that day.
Yeah.
I had a lot of hate that day. It hurt me. And
Yeah.
you know me, right? Any soldier would know that the mind goes into dark places, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sit there and pray on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I sat there and cried and I was like, oh, fuck, man, this is really hitting me. And then I turned to a few Bible verses, right?
Yeah.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yes.
And God said that he could send an army of angels if he would. What glory would that bring to God?
Yeah.
We're not going to win this by being like them. We're going to win this by spreading this message,
Yes.
right? They ignited a force that I hope will overturn the way this country has been going.
Yeah. No, and I remember what I was going to say earlier. So, yes, Rocky, you mentioned it, that we can't be afraid, right? Because Charlie wasn't afraid.
Nope.
To speak anything. And when he spoke it, like you can tell everything he spoke, he was 100% confident about. Like he knew exactly what he was talking about. He had the facts to back everything up, right? He wasn't just spitballing shit like out. But yes, going back to my point, it is, you can't be afraid, especially now, out of any time, to, like, yes, it's like a unwritten rule, don't speak politics, religion, etc., right, in public or whatever. But now is the time more than ever to be very faith driven in the world, because this is the time we need it the most. Because he literally got assassinated for
His beliefs.
For speaking what he felt, right? Nobody should be killed for that.
Nobody.
For speaking what you feel. Nobody at all. So
And feel free to disagree with me, right?
Yeah.
I open everybody to have open discord.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
My train of thought is not the only train of thought, all right? It's just a message I want to get to as many hearts and minds as I can. But if you disagree with it, let's come and talk.
Right. Exactly.
Let's come and talk.
That's exactly. Yeah, and that's what he did. That's what Charlie did. He openly debated, gave them an opportunity, right? He didn't shut them down. He didn't give them any kind of, negative talk, negative outlooks on anything. He just spoke the facts, and he gave the opportunity to the debater to feedback, right? Back and forth, which is, I think, what we need, right? Because nowadays everybody's just like, it's sad to say, right? We have two major political parties in the United States, right?
Yeah.
I mean, although there are other parties, nobody bats an eye for them. So it's either you're one-sided with Democrats or you're one-sided with Republicans, it shouldn't be like that. You should be open-minded, right? You should just, first and foremost, God, right? That's who you should follow if you're into your spirituality or whatever God you follow. But Jesus Christ is first and foremost, then it's country, right? And then it's family, in that specific order. So if you're trying to debate anything other than that, that's fine. You can have your own opinion, but you don't need to get physical or violent about it, right? That's not what it should come down to. And unfortunately, that's what one of the said parties resorts to, right?
Oh, yeah.
If they don't get their way, which is something I think we should change. And by continuing this, you've already seen it. Right after Charlie Kirk's assassination, there was already other young students, college attendees, going to their college campuses already and openly debating, although they are getting a lot of pushback.
Oh, yeah.
But
violence.
That's fine. You should not show fear in that status. If you're going to go do something major like that, I think that's something that should continue on. And I know a few major TV personalities and online organizations have said that they are going to openly and continue Charlie's legacy by still going to college campuses and debating with whoever they feel like needs debating. But that's my opinion on it so far. Do you guys have anything to add to what it is going to look like going forward with Charlie's legacy?
I think the moment we stop talking about it or I say continue to spread his word for the rest of our life, right? Give it to our children to spread, and that's the best way we can remember him, right? It's they thought that his death would end his word.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It is not. So that's pretty much all I want, or my goal is to continue to spread the word. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to let the audience know of how you plan to do that, or what your goals are with that?
Sure. So a lot of what I'm doing is, especially in the Rio Rancho area, it's a little bit better in Albuquerque, but the whole general area, right? There's not enough faith-based counselors.
Okay.
Right? You could go and find non-denominational. You could find regular therapy, right? I want to expand the ability for people of Christian faith to seek mental health, right? A lot of conservatives, they don't want to go to mental health therapists because they're like, oh yeah, I don't want to talk to someone that doesn't identify me. A lot of military people won't talk to the military. They're not military, right?
Right.
How many times do you open up to those that that don't understand?
Right. Exactly.
We were just talking about this. Like, I was like, how many military do I actually have? I have a few spouses, a few kind of military. I don't know what category to put them into, but I don't have a lot of military clientele. I want to grow that. I know there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're out there.
For sure.
I'm one of them, right? I have my own demons.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to. And you don't have to have Christian faith to come see me. I mean, obviously we're clinical. We will provide your needs.
Yeah.
But I want there to be a access to therapy that has Christian faith to it, right? Go look for them. There's 5 therapists if you go look on Psychology Today.
Okay.
Right? We just became 2 more. So now there's 7.
Good.
Right? So like the need is out there. And that's just my niche, right? That's what I do. I've always been service before self. Right, this is a value, right? I've lived a life of service. We went over it in my last podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure this man right here, right? So life of service, CYFD. We didn't tell his background, right? Do you want to tell a little bit of your background?
Oh yeah, sorry about that, brother.
Right?
Totally
That's
forgot.
totally fine. That's totally fine.
Let's pause a little bit and let's hear a little bit about this guy's background.
That's a long story, so I don't know if we can.
We
have time for that.
Oh yeah.
So what would you like to know about my background?
Well, look, I was talking about a life of service,
Life
right?
of service, yeah.
Right?
So
your background. How have you served your community? I'm all about service to country, service to self.
So truth be told, I've been in the social service industry for going on 14 years actually. So
Wow.
I actually tell people this. It's a funny story, but I didn't actually want to be a social worker. That's
Okay.
not what I went to school for, dude. I was actually I was going to be an accountant. I swear, dude.
That's a far.
That's a right, dude. That's like I was at the Anderson School of Business at the University of New Mexico, dude. I think I was in like my sophomore year, and just I just equated, dude. Like I was just in my own world, pursuing my interests and my passions and my desires, and then that took me down a path that that eventually just led me to rock bottom. And
Okay.
then from there, dude, that's when I really dug into my faith. Like I actually had questions like, I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
Mind you, I grew up in the church, dude. And so when life hit me like that, it was just, okay, is God even there? Is God real? Who is God to me? And then from there, kind of long story short, I actually found myself teaching Bible study at the, what they call like a kid prison. It's the Youth Diagnostic and Development
Yeah.
Center here in Albuquerque, the YDDC,
Mm-hmm.
and Camino Nuevo. And that was my actual first real experience and exposure to youth who were, in prison or in the juvenile justice system, man. And it hit me head on. And from there, I think God was just calling me to say like, hey, you need to get your head out of what,
Yeah.
and start serving, right? Start serving others instead of serving yourself. And so, as we talk about servitude, that's where I changed my major. I remember going back to school and I was like, I'm not going to be an accountant anymore.
Yeah.
Going to go into, social work, psychology, and things like that. And
Wow.
so here I am 13 years later, man. I kind of have a little bit of a variety within the field. I started doing, nonprofit work with juvenile justice in conjunction with CYFD in various counties here in New Mexico, and then went to work on the protective services side in the field. So, I went from working with quote unquote, those who are perpetrating or those who are criminals or considered criminals, to the victims,
Yeah.
of abuse and neglect, and then worked in administrative work, actually licensing a lot of agencies across the state of New Mexico and doing special projects a few years after that for the Secretary of CYFD. So, we would travel out of state, during COVID, making sure that we were bringing youth that were out of state back in the state, placing them in foster homes here, doing a lot of
Okay.
work at that point, a lot of quality assurance as well. And
Yeah.
even, to my last stint with CYFD was working quality assurance for the Kevin S. settlement. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
That's what you'll see a lot of in the news with CYFD about the settlement that they have to provide a certain quality of service because there was a lawsuit brought by certain
Is that the
youth.
same lawsuit that allows us to get trained for free
as far as
with modalities like cognitive therapy,
yeah,
EMDR, right?
in a sense, but the what it is, it's actually a lawsuit that CYFD had to revamp their entire system to provide a certain quality of work. One of them being like providing certain amount of foster homes within the state.
Oh, wow.
Right, and so you'll definitely see that as you turn on the news, and so they're not necessarily doing a great job of it right now, but
No, CFD sucks in the state.
yeah,
Doesn't
Not to turn down the organization. I mean, like, man, like we have kids all the time that need help, and we're like, man, what is the state doing for them?
Mm.
So we do our best, but
yeah,
like,
it's wild, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, and so after that, I went to work again in the nonprofit world in group homes, and ended up going back to school, man. I ended up going back to school, getting my master's, and then
Awesome.
getting licensed. And here I am working in in a high school, and then obviously doing private practice with Mr. Villi here at the Rock Family Therapy. And so,
Awesome.
but it also goes back to what we were talking about with Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? It's a lot of what we see is really just the absence of the father in the home too.
Yes.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a huge one. And that's where a lot of men, especially, become a statistic because of that, because of a missing father figure in their lives. And I don't know if we discussed that in our episode, but
no,
yes.
we might have.
Yeah, there's a lot of information we went through, but yes, that's a good point to bring up. And because me myself, I almost became a statistic, right? So I know exactly. I understand 100% because not to turn this on me, but a lot of fathers that are missing from the home, like given the mother has their own duties to go, right? They still got to work, provide all that stuff, but with no father figure to tell them what's right, what's wrong, to discipline them, to tell them to keep their head straight, whatever, etc., is going to lead the child to become a statistic, either because they're going to start hanging out with people. That's where it starts. Them hanging out with other kids, right? That portray
don't
them.
have fathers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they all have like-minded, personalities. They all like the same stuff. They're all going to go cause trouble together, and no one's there at home to tell them, hey, you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that, which leads to further consequences. But yes, fortunately, I didn't become a statistic. I was well on my way. Right before I turned 18, I was actually locked up. I was in juvie, and that was almost like a wake-up call. It was like literally a week before turning 18. I was like, yeah, next time I do this, it's not going to be juvie time. It's going to be jail or prison or worse, right? 6 feet under. So God bless me. He gave me a wake-up call, and he's said, hey, man, get your shit straight together because you're not going down the right path. I had a horrible juvie record, which is why it took me so long to enlist, as a matter of fact. That ties into me enlisting at 28 years old because post-high school, I was trying to get into law enforcement. I was trying to go active duty, and they were just looking. They took one peek at my juvie record, and they're like, nope, sorry, you're not joining, right? So, yeah, God gave me the opportunity to persevere, to keep going, to strive, and eventually I enlisted despite my past, and I'm glad I wasn't judged for it anymore at some point in time.
They gave you a chance.
Yeah, they gave me a chance.
It should be.
So, yes, when you said that when they don't have a father figure at home or someone in a role model or anyone to look up to that's telling them no, giving them a hard no, yes, that's going to lead to that, which ties into now values, right? So I think I had a episode with another guest not too long ago, and we were talking about spirituality, right? So obviously there's different people all over the world who have one God or another, right?
Sure.
But not to dwell too deep into that. I think as long as you have some type of God that you're looking up to, right, in a good way, that you're following your faith, your values, you're keeping your head straight, even if you don't have a father figure at home, I think that'll help a lot, right? The spirituality part, right? Say, for example, I'll use, I don't know, let's just say John Doe, right? Let's say he doesn't have dad at home, but the mom, she's very Christian-based, goes to church every weekend. If they take their son along, if she takes that John Doe kid along with her to church every weekend, that's going to lessen the chances, right, of this kid becoming a knucklehead, right? Because he has the faith. Although he doesn't have that father figure, our ultimate father, Lord Jesus Christ, right? God is the ultimate father figure.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're, as an example, if they're taking him to church, telling him to read a scripture every now and then, or verse every now and then, I think that's going to play some part into raising the kid to not becoming a statistic later on down the road.
Well, look what's at the church, or what's the other versions of church? What's the, like, I don't know, the priest is like imam. What's the
mosque,
the
temple,
whatever you want to call it. In there, even though you don't have a father, for the ones that don't, or a mother, you're going to find that mentor, that person that can fulfill that for you, right? Because a church, a mosque, a temple, it's a community, right? You are not alone. And in that, you find family. And truly, when you really find that, you cling on to it. There's a statistic out there that shows that the difference between a kid making it and becoming that statistic or not that you're talking about is one caring adult.
Okay.
One, right? Outside
Yes.
the their nuclear family, one caring adult. right? If they could find that one mentor that they could identify with, or show them the way that they can get those values from, so they're not worried about just self and I, that egocentric viewpoint. Like I'm worried about myself, but I'm in service, right? That value of service, right? There's something more greater than I. Then they go, and it sounds like you found it. I know I found it. I have a similar story, right?
Yeah.
Right. There's a few times where I've almost become a statistic, right? Very similar, right? And I have to look back on like how many people stepped in my life to make sure I wasn't statistic, right?
Right.
And it's important that we, as the people that are the next, I would say right now, we are the people that are kind of next in line. It was the boomers, right? Are you all millennials? Sorry.
I think we are. My wife says we are. I don't know.
I was born in
I forget. I was in 87.
87.
89.
89. So
yeah,
millennials, right? It's our turn, right, to teach or be that mentor, right? Because there's a lot of knuckleheads out there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Especially now.
Right.
More than ever.
Should we then turn away and say it's not our problem? And I would say, since today's our Charlie Kirk's theme, right? It's our problem, right?
Yeah.
It's our problem to serve. We have to be the ones that serve others, serve our community. Because if we don't, then who else?
Exactly.
Who do we want teaching these children values?
Exactly.
Someone will, right? And if it's the wrong person, it's going to be no bueno.
That's right.
It's like the I learned this in psychology. I forgot what it was called exactly. I think it's the broken down car syndrome or something like that. It's like if you see a car broken down on the side of the road and you just drive past it thinking, oh, the next person's going to help them, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Same thing behind him. The next person drives past is, oh, the next person was going to help him. I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's just like that. I think to put it in that way, like you can't just leave it up to the next person to carry the legacy, right? To pick up the mic, to spread the message, to spread awareness. It has to be within yourself to carry that message forward, right?
Well, it's a real phenomenon where if someone's like choking, right, and no one does anything, although there's a lot of good people around, because they think that someone else is going to do it. Right? I know what you're talking about. It might be like a good Samaritan. You got the phone, so we're gonna look
this up and ask Abe.
And actually, this guy saved my life the other day because I went golfing with him at Sandia. Was it last Sunday or Saturday?
It was on Saturday.
Saturday. And he looked at me and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "No." I was choking on beef jerky.
Oh,
and
shit.
It got stuck right here. It was like, when I finally coughed it up, it was just like a ball of beef jerky.
Oh, my gosh. Damn.
And I was like, oh, God.
You got to chew better, bro.
He was just worried because I was carrying us on the course.
Oh,
so
dang.
he had to
That's
kind of
what
put
it
a pause
was.
right there.
Okay.
You know,
You're starting to
change
get
the
worried
moment.
over there.
No,
We were
just
getting
kidding.
our ass beat by two high schoolers.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, good thing I wasn't there because I would have been worse than you guys. For sure.
You definitely need to pick up golfing, by the way.
I hear it's a good hobby to have.
It's a good hobby. Once you get the itch, no going back.
All right. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's the broken car syndrome. I can't remember for the life of me what it was called.
It's not necessarily like what I'm getting from the internet here. It's not necessarily like an actual like psychological term, but it's like a metaphor used within psychology, right?
It's a phenomenon. I know
It's a
what you're talking about.
phenomenon.
I've read it in the Psychology 101.
Yeah.
It's just,
Okay.
I know it's very familiar with. Is it innocent? Look up innocent bystander syndrome.
I think that's what it is.
Look up innocent bystander syndrome.
Innocent bystander.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And let's see if my recall memory comes up very well. But that being said, you know, one thing that hit me hard when we're talking about children, man, Charlie Kirk's child was there.
Yeah, so that's another thing, right? The family, right? There's so much to unpack here, man. But no, go on before I get into the squirrel moment.
Yeah, no, man. I've been there, where like I've seen when I was a kid. I had my own demons. I've seen things, right? I grew up in LA. You see shit all the time all there, right?
I'm sure.
People die all the time there. But like, man, like I thought that was like when I moved out of LA. It's like it was just no, it's everywhere, man. Thank you for anything. And it's like fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, more than any, like not that it's fucked up that he died, but like my heart really feels bad for this kid. You know what I mean? Not only is he gonna grow up without his dad, but he had to be there. I know his wife was able to forgive, but I hope he's gonna find peace one day, because like, it has to hit him hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, both his children. Yeah.
Was both children there? I thought it was just one.
Oh, was it just one?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I heard his son was there.
Yeah. There were so many mixed
Yeah, you don't know what's real.
things
That's
that
the
they
news.
said all of them were there. A couple of them were there. One of them was just a wife. It could be anything. But yeah, I don't know for sure if it was just the wife and the son.
Okay.
But either way, the effect is the same nonetheless, right? Both children are going to grow up without a father now.
Yeah.
Which goes into what we just talked about, missing a father in life, right? But yeah, the impact that it's going to have on these kids. I mean, Erica's doing a great job so far of, you know, taking control of the legacy right now. Phenomenal job, especially in the situation that she's been placed in, man. It's just like crazy. I was just watching something the other day, because, I mean, obviously they're on social media every day, right? Turning Point, Charlie Kirk's page. So there's different turning points, right? Turning Point USA, Turning Point Faith, all that stuff. And I was just seeing, I don't know if you saw that interview they gave Erica. Have you seen that one yet? The interview
Which
with
one?
Erica. It was the latest one. They specifically asked her, which is kind of messed up. Maybe they didn't, but they asked her if she had seen the video of him being assassinated. And she was like, no, I can't bring myself to ever watch that, nor will I ever, right? And to see that the day that it happened, dude, it was just all over. Like, it was plastered all over, right?
I fucked up and watched it. I should have never watched it.
Dude, I did too, man. Like, I didn't want to believe it, right? I was hoping for the best outcome possible. Like, hopefully it's not, like, the bullet didn't lodge deep. Hopefully it didn't hit an artery. Hopefully, you know, he makes it to the hospital. Like, I was watching it for, not that it was, I don't know, man. I put that thing on replay just hoping for the best outcome, like analyzing it, hoping that there was some way that he would survive this. I guess that's why I kept watching it, you know what I mean? But it was just, now I can't get it out of my head. As many times as I watched it, it's just etched in my mind now. And it's just now knowing the fact that hours later he did die, it just sucks, man. Like, you feel powerless, like there was nothing you could do. Nor his friends. I can only imagine how his friends felt, like they're with him in the car as he was taking his last breaths. I wonder how they feel. I can never put myself in their shoes to say that.
I would have a lot of hate.
Dude,
I had a lot of
like-
hate this first day. I had to let it go.
Man, it was rough. It was rough. And of course, like, the news just puts everything out. Like, you don't know what's real, what's not.
Yeah.
Oh, he died on site. He died on the way. No, he died at the hospital. Like, there was just so many articles out there, you didn't know what to believe, right? Until we got the validation. And I think shortly after that, you called me, right? Which
No,
was...
I think I called you before I got the validation.
Did you?
I think you had told me at the time, you're like, I don't know.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah.
But
'Cause I was at work.
And I was like, oh, segue a little bit. You back to work yet? Shut down over?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No, hoping by Thursday or Friday we're back. But
Okay.
if not next week, I'm hoping for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Dude, it's been ridiculous.
Not the squirrel of the moment, man, but you know, thank you for your service. Going two paychecks, no paychecks. I mean, I know how hard that could be on the family, right? I mean, here's 3 men who've dedicated their life to service to the country, service to others, and then not to get paid for it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. It's a bunch of bullshit that the government just can't agree for the public and its nation for federal employees. But yeah, that's another story, bro. But yeah, I'm doing good. We're hanging in there. You know, good thing we're good at saving money for emergency funds. Yeah, especially in the midst of moving and trying to add another family. But
Are they gonna back pay you?
yeah, they're gonna back pay us.
I heard it's like some people don't get their money back, or they just say screw it.
Yeah, so I think that goes for the people that are federally contracted, right?
Like us.
Yeah. So
I'm federally contracted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that goes for those like certain employees. I don't think for the actual like, for me, I'm under the Department of Labor, right? I work directly under the Department of Labor, as opposed to being federally contracted with the Department of Labor. I think those employees are not gonna.
That's fucked too.
Paid. Yeah, it's still fucked up one way or another. But yeah, yeah. So going back to my question,
Sorry,
it was like,
squirrel moment, guys.
I know
Squirrel moment.
I'm so horrible at that. That's why when I do my Q&As, man, I'm on topic. But going back to the question of how do you hope to carry the legacy forward? What about you, Raul? Like, what do you hope to? How do you hope to relay this message going forward? Whether through life, through business, through personal.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, but I've seen a couple of videos of Charlie Kirk just to kind of get to know him a little bit more as well. But there's one interview, I don't know if I can't remember the gentleman he did it. I don't know if it's Janko, but he asked him, like, aren't you ever afraid, going into these? He's like, no, man, I just put, I always make sure to put God first. And, going in, his prayer was that, God, I want to bring glory to your name. I'm here as your servant.
Mm-hmm.
I want, to glory, I want you to glorify your name. In other words, you go ahead of me, and I want you to increase and me decrease, right? And so I think that's just the gospel in itself, that Jesus is the only answer for the human condition, right? What we call sin. And so for me, it's just being able to put myself at the feet of the cross, at the feet of Jesus each and every day, which that's a difficult thing to do, especially in today's world, dude, as a man, as just a human being, right? But if anything I take from his legacy, it's just that reminder is that we can't really do anything within our own human strength, and it's constantly just going to the foot of the cross. To, the Bible says, come boldly to the throne of grace, and asking those, every single day, when I walk into school, man, it's just like, God, the battles I'm going to face today, the things that I struggle with,
right.
Go before me and fight those for me, go ahead of me. And how can I bring glory to your name? Who is it that you want me to serve today? Who can I be a light for?
Right.
And so, because when you start to think about it, I think it's a monumental task to take up and say, like, hey, I'm going to be the next Charlie Kirk. And I think people are trying to do that. But,
yeah,
I mean, you can't. God raises up certain individuals in certain times for his purpose, right? You have the Moseses, you have the Aarons, the Joshuas, John the Baptist, all in his perfect timing,
right.
King David, Paul, Saul of Tarsus.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's just about putting Jesus first and letting him do the work, whether it's, reaching millions of young youth across the nation or the world like Charlie did, or it's the people that we interact with on every single day, like, Rocky and I are in the schools, or yourself, through the podcast.
Yeah.
Whatever platform you have, use it, let God use it for his glory. I think we have this mentality sometimes of wanting to change the world, but, years ago I found, a couple years ago actually, it's about reframing that and thinking that every person is a world to change, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you kind of, go in with that mentality and just doing what, being responsible with what God has given you already, and we were talking about this the other day, right? If you are responsible so far with what you have, what God has given you, then, he'll give you more, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that for me, that's what I tried to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, it's very powerful. It's God has a purpose for everyone in life, right? And he has the perfect timing for it all, right? We all face our own struggles at some point in time. We all have our own accomplishments and stuff that we feel proud of from time to time. And all that is done through God's timing, his plan. There's no way that you can change it. There's no way that you can alter it. What's done is done. But he's fulfilling your purpose one day at a time. And every person that you make contact with, and I think I mentioned it in your podcast session that whether you know it or not, you're affecting people's lives one person at a time. There's people that are probably looking up to you that you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're trying to be a role model or not, you're still affecting other people's lives. If we're following Christian-based values, most of those are going to be positive-based, right? So I think it is important. Every person you meet, right? Every person you interact with, you're planting a seed, as I like to say. It's like, because I just took a life track with Calvary Church, and they were teaching us a lot of lessons, and planting a seed was a huge one, right? You're not forcing anything at all, right? I'm not forcing. If someone new I meet on the street or out in public, whatever, I'm not forcing my religion down their throat, right?
No.
Not forcing politics down their throat. All you're doing is planting the seed. If they're willing to engage in that conversation, then so be it, right?
Like, from the beginning you said, right, we don't talk about politics, God, and I forget the third category at the table, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more important to live a holy or godly life, and they say, how do I be like that guy? What's different, right? I almost could tell those who follow God, because you can see it, right? You can see how Jesus impacted their life, and then and then you see how they talk, right? And one thing they always say, right? I didn't do it. This is all God's glory,
Right.
right? And then you see the aha, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's better to live by example than to say, you're wrong, you should believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let them wonder about how you did it, right? How you became successful, how you got to this point, right? We all have our own struggles, each one of us, right? And when people look at it, like, well, how'd you go from jails to a you're staff sergeant in the Army, right?
Yeah.
Almost our first class soon.
Yeah. No, let's not go there. Give me some time here.
Right? How'd you get there, right? You were a leader, right? That background coming from Swifty all the way to here, right? Even for myself, right? How did we get here? Well, it's only one reason, right? It's because God willed it. Right? We listened, we humbled ourselves, we surrendered, we chose a life of service. And any glory that I have is not going to be because I made it. It's because God graced it to me.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
And having that mentality, right? That kind of train of thought, it draws people, right? I don't need people to listen to my words. They can just watch my actions, right? And if they need help, I'll listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to know, I'll teach them.
Yeah.
Right? That's one big thing I told you. Is like, he asked me, I met bro, was like, hey, how come you're helping me out? It's like, brother, this is what God calls us to do.
What's up, everybody? This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by the Rock Family Therapy. Not every battle is fought in combat. Some are fought in silence, in your head, in your home, or behind the mask you wear every day. At the Rock Family Therapy, they stand with those who fight to rise again. Veterans, first responders, parents, or anyone carrying the weight of trauma, loss, or stress. This isn't just talk therapy. It's rebuilding from the inside out. It's mental conditioning for life. A place to reset, refocus, and rise stronger. Whether your uniform is military, professional, or just the armor you put on to make it through the day. If you're ready to face what's been holding you back, they're ready for you. Call or text 505-336-0238 or email r.villy@therockfamilytherapy.com or visit therockfamilytherapy.com because warriors come in many forms and every warrior needs a rock. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored and brought to you by Toehold. As you know, I've been a longtime customer and supporter of Toehold. I'll give you 3 reasons why I love this company. One is because they're huge supporters of veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. Second reason is because everything is American-made with integrity as it should be. And third reason is because they have the best customer service that you'll ever receive with timely responses. Now, their main focus is flip-flops that'll last you a lifetime, but they also sell caps, shirts, rash guards, wallets, you name it. One of my favorite ethically sourced exotic leathers here is Murder Hippo flip-flops. We got stingray, elephant, crocodile. And if you don't want an exotic leather, you got different options on vegetable tan leather with stamps and colors. And going to the wallets here, we got zebra, we got stingray, we got John Wayne style minimalist wallet, and then going to the key fobs. So guys, go show your support. You have so many options with different exotic leathers. Go show your support for AG and Toehold. Tell them I sent you. Thank you. Peace out.
If I'm not to help you out, right? Well then, right? We call it soldier care in the Army, right? We call it soldier care. One of the first things I learned, right, is like, okay, this is what it means to take care of you. I take care of you. I'm gonna show you what to do, and your job is then to take care of the person below you, and you teach them how to take care of it, right? It's not enough for you to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So he didn't understand that concept. Civilian, right? I'm trying to get him to I was like, it's not too late.
Dude, that was something like totally. I'm like, what? What? There's got to be some angle about this.
Trust
right?
me, man. That's years and years of implementation.
Yeah, right.
But I like it, dude. I like it. That's what it's all about, right there.
He couldn't believe it. He was like he was like, I was like, what's your angle?
Yeah.
What's your angle?
I'm like, are you for real, dude? Like,
No, I just told him this is God's calling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
God and the Army has taught me that you take care of others and they'll take care of you, and then I don't even need you to take care of me, Raul, you go take care of the next person and tell that person to take care of the next person, and that's how we change this country.
Yeah.
Right? One person, like you said, one person at a time.
One person at a time.
Right?
So let me ask this: like, okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of one-sided people out there, right?
Sure.
That are not open-minded, right?
Sure.
They're not gonna be open to interpretation whatsoever. So my question to you guys is: do you quote unquote waste your time trying to not convert them, but give them the facts that they need to start, realizing things?
Never a waste of time.
Or do you just, walk the other way and say, hey, I gave it a shot, not going to happen. Let's move on to the next person.
One of my closest friends, thank you for bringing this up, right? Because one of my closest friends here in New Mexico, I have tons of friends back home in California. I grew up in Long Beach. All of them are there. They text me. We still stay in touch. One of my closest friends here is an atheist.
Okay.
Right? You've met him. Right? I won't
Yeah.
mention his name out of respect, right? You've met him, right?
Yeah.
I pray over his food, right? He'll joke and say, don't do that, right?
Mm.
It burns me. I was like, look, one day I pray that God will show you that he is God.
Mm.
Right? I'm never going to give up, right? Just because you're different than me doesn't mean that we cannot connect and we can't be friends, right? I'm a wholehearted believer that God's word is not for us. We know already. We've been saved. Then the word is for them,
Mm.
right? And I will never give up that. I don't care how long you tell me, oh, you know what, I think, okay, he can hold that belief or thing. I will still be his friend till he dies. I told him, on your deathbed, even if it takes you want me to save you, I will save you on your deathbed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I won't give up on you.
Right.
Right? Nor will I give up anybody. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to shun them or say, oh, you're horrible or anything.
Right.
No. You're welcome in my house no matter what. Right? But when he walks into my house, he knows that this house is glorifying God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're going to pray in my house when we eat. Right? He'll respect that. Right? And while we're out eating, he'll joke. Right? But it's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna ever argue with someone right over it. I'm like, okay, I respect your beliefs,
Yeah.
but I'm always gonna pray for you, and when you're ready to believe, let me know, because I'll be here to support you.
Amen. I think that's good. And I like the fact that he's not necessarily closed-minded about it, right? He respects it. When he walks into your home, he's respecting that. He might even throw a joke or two in there, right?
Oh yeah.
It's not like a deterrent, like, oh, okay, you don't believe what I believe, so we're not going to talk.
Oh, we have totally
so-
different political views. We have to,
Right.
The discourse is okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you believe. It matters that you could be humane with each other. Right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with his beliefs. He's okay with mine. I continue to pray for him.
Yeah.
Which I will.
Okay. Well, that's good. I think that's very good. So that's a good example to set. going forward with other people? What about you, Ro? Like with back to my question is like if there's someone out there that's very closed-minded, doesn't have, you know, any value whatsoever in God or whatever, he just has his own religion to believe in, is it going to be something that you're going to try to, you know, hang in there with him, or you're just going to move on and hope for the best?
You asked me that about 10 years ago, I would have said probably I wasn't going to have that much patience with him, dude. Most of the, you know, it's not even been people that, you know, strangers that have really been like the hardest or the challenging ones. I think sometimes they've been family, like close personal family, you know, I mean, you know, within my family, dude, that some of them, you know, because we mostly grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, you know, there's a few of us who are, you know, within our family that we're evangelical or non-denominational Christian right now, and so to really kind of battle with them, right? Like, okay, well, you know, why don't you guys, you know, pray to saints and things like that, right? So, but with them, I've learned, you know, now is just to be patient, and when they're ready, you know, and they're willing to hear, then that's when I let them open up first and open that door. Once they do, and once I'm in, then I just kind of little by little, I just continue to plant the seeds along the way, because I've learned, you know, over the years that, you know, I can't force anybody to, and I'm not, and Jesus didn't force anybody to really come to faith, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was through his goodness, just like he was patient with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way he met me where I was at, and really, you know, opened my eyes to what the truth was. So for me, it's just allowing God to say, like, you know, God, just if you have someone out there that you're wanting to bring to you, or whoever I can reach today, just, you know, open up that door for me, give me that opportunity, and then, you know, I'd like to share a little bit about my story. That's how I do it too, my personal testimony, right?
Yeah.
And what God has really done for me. I can't really explain it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know it's real, and so it's just meeting them where they're at as well.
Okay, it's a good way to put it. So, like, moving forward, I know we're all doing things in our own ways, right? Again, fulfilling God's purpose. How do you think the near future looks like, or maybe even 5-10 years down the road? How do you think that's going to look like with the message that we're all trying to spread and carry, and not only here in New Mexico, right, where it's much needed, but worldwide? How do you think this impact is going to go? What do you guys see in the future?
I would like to see more of turning point in politics, not politics and turning point, right? What if they then create their own party, right? At the end of the day, I don't think every Democrat, there's a lot of Democrats that are Christians, there's a lot of Republicans that are Christians, right? But how many of them lead with their faith first?
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would like, because America was built on Christian beliefs, and I'm all respect for freedom of religion, right?
Right.
But the basis of this country started with that, right? We're a tolerant society, right? We should be, at least we used to be, right?
Yeah.
We should tolerate other religions, but here's the thing, right? We need to get back to our roots, right? Our base, our foundation.
Yeah.
Right? Peter means rock, right? Petros, coming from the earth, the rock, right? We need our foundation back. And without those values coming first, I really don't have faith in our politics, because our politics doesn't have faith in God.
Yeah.
They don't put God first. And I would like to see that in the future, right? I don't need to lead a revolution. I just need to follow the right people, right? Who knows? We might see Governor Tagle one day, right?
I don't know about that one, man, but
I'm just saying, you know,
you never know.
We need leaders out there that are going to go out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So how did you guys watch the Charlie Kirk memorial by any chance? I know it's pretty long, but
I didn't get through all of it. I watched the snips.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched clips.
So like the
too.
highlights and
Yeah, just
stuff.
the highlights.
So and my wife and I discussed this, like how it was crazy because never have I seen politicians talk about faith so much.
Yeah.
Like I've never
watched
seen
that,
that, right? It's like
Yeah.
every person, every guest person that spoke about faith. I don't know if it was just a front maybe to, for image or whatever, but one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. It was just all faith talk, right? Which is glory to God. Amen. But like why is it that it took something like this, such an unfortunate situation for the biggest leaders in the world, right, to finally be open and talk about faith in public in front of the entire world?
Because we needed it,
Okay.
right? We needed it. When God intervenes, He knows that what we need. I enjoyed that part of the sermon, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I see a lot of J.D. Vance doing it a lot more.
Yeah.
Like one of the few, right? I would like more of it. I would like for it to be okay if a community says we want to put a cross or a nativity story on public grounds. If the community wants it, let them.
Yeah.
Why have we gone from a way where it says we can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Separation of church and power. But our roots are our roots,
Yeah.
right? Where did it become wrong to have faith in community?
Yeah.
If other churches or other faiths have that community that are strong, like Utah, Mormon,
Mhm.
right? Or you have, their influence has it. Let the community speak.
Yeah.
We're a democratic society, right? It's starting to feel like, even though they call a lot of conservatives authoritative, but there's a lot more authoritative, my way or the highway talk than instead of saying, hey, let's be tolerant of each other,
Yeah.
right? Let's work with each other. That's where we need to go.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So, So Raul, I didn't give you the opportunity to answer the question. What do you see in the near future, like the next 5-10 years, or the impact that Charlie's message is going to have going forward?
That is a great question. So, I mean, I think it's and this is not to really, diminish or minimize Charlie, but his message has always been Jesus's message, right?
Mhm.
So I don't think it's going to really diminish. God is going to fulfill his purpose either way. God's going to have his way, whether Charlie kept going or unfortunately, like it is, what I mean, Charlie passed away. God is going to just raise somebody up. I mean, again, like I told you going back earlier, it's like, God doesn't need to fulfill his purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of foolish of us to think that. But I think in the next 5 or 10 years, I think you're going to see, you kind of already see it too. There's a revival. I think even, within the Bible, God, speaks about, a big revival, people coming to faith within Jesus Christ as the end times approach, right? And even within the tribulation period and the time in which God is, before his actual second coming to the earth, he's still going to send the message of revival through 2 witnesses, right? So I think that message is going to just continue to grow stronger just because that's the truth in itself, is that Jesus is the only way, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you've heard of, Pastor John MacArthur, the late John MacArthur, who passed away.
No.
But he said something interesting. He said something interesting one time. He said, our faith shouldn't be in that, in man changing, or in politics changing the world. Our hope should be in the coming of Jesus Christ, because and that to me, I remember it just kind of simmering in the back of my mind on when Charlie Kirk passed, and it's like, we're foolish in thinking that the government itself is going to be able to change society, change the root problem, and it's not politics that change people. It's Jesus, actually. It's a heart change, right? Until men change, kingdoms can't change. You know what I'm saying? So it goes on a deeper level. So it's not like I have to hope that, it's, in President Trump or in Governor, Joe Schmo. You know what I mean? I just have to keep, my faith in Christ, and that Christ will ultimately overcome no matter who's in the White House or in the palace of the governor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I just think it's going to be, there's still hope for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where my hope lies, in Jesus. And I think there's just going to be more and more people coming to Christ as his return gets near.
Like you said in the beginning, right? There's been more Bible sales, more
Yeah.
tents in the church, more outreach, and that brings hope, right? I think hope is the key. If anything, we have hope again.
Yeah.
We always had it, but it's kind of a reminder that, okay, it's okay. How about the question to you?
That's a good question. It is. I love it when guests turn the question because I'm like,
Lights back on you.
Yeah, it's like I can feel what you guys are feeling, just totally unprepared for the question. But for the next 5 to 10 years, Charlie's legacy, again, so my perspective on it is, right, internally, okay? So what am I going to do to continue to spread this message, whether it be one person at a time, multiple people at a time through the platform? I think one of the most important things is instilling the message in our children, the future generations, right? So nowadays, like today, man, there's a bunch of knuckleheads out there, right? I don't know what you call them, Gen A or I don't know. There's so many generations, whatever, Gen Alpha, Gen X, or whatever the heck you want to call it. But there's so many
Gen
now.
Z. Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z. Is that where we're at now?
Yeah, something like that.
So I think it's important to carry the legacy on through your future generations of your household, man. Because it's, if you instill it in your kids and teach them the values, right, they're gonna teach it to their children, right? Your grandchildren are gonna teach it to your great grandchildren. Okay, so I think that's where it starts, is internally. As long as you're portraying that message, and not only telling it, right, but leading by example. Okay, because like there could be a difference between, you've heard it many times, practice what you preach, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just not gonna speak it and then just hope that they follow whatever I'm saying or instill those values by me just speaking it, but I want them to see that I'm actually saying what I'm doing, right? I'm not gonna say, hey, just the smallest example, like, son, go clean your room, and then they come to my room and it's just a tornado went through it or something like that, right? Or, son, make your bed in the mornings, but they come in my bed, right? And then my bed's not made. So I want to instill Charlie's message through my children, through the future generations. And I think by me instilling it in each of my children, each individual will go on to spread that seed to other individuals, whether it be through friends, through cousins, right? Because cousins are close, through other family members, through their schoolmates, right? It's one person at a time. So what I see in the next 5 to 10 years is starting internally here, also relaying it through the platform that I have, right? And as it grows bigger, I'm hoping that I can show how good-hearted I am, what I'm trying to do for as far as changes go, right? New Mexico is like one of the worst states, right? Like in crime. I think we spoke briefly about it in the CYFD stuff, right?
He knows more about that.
Yeah, I mean, statistics are outrageous in New Mexico, man. So I think just spreading the message here within our community, right? A smaller place to start relaying that message is within the community. But hopefully I can make some type of impact, whether it's just one person or 100 people, right? As long as we keep making that awareness out there available.
The effort.
Yeah, the effort that we put in, I think it'll be good. And like you briefly said, Raul, like, it doesn't matter who's in office, right? Whether it be the governor, the White House, who's the mayor, none of that matters at the end of the day, right? It's none of that's going to impact how we move forward with our beliefs, with our faith.
That's not going to change
with our
God's
goals.
message.
Exactly. So I couldn't put it in any better words than what you just said, right? It's not going to change the message, God's message. So I think that's going to be, one day at a time, one person at a time, I think. So that's my perspective on carrying forward the legacy. But moving on to your guys' do you have children?
No.
Okay, not yet. Okay. So, Rocky, then this is going to be more tailored towards you. How are you going to instill those values in your children moving forward?
Oh, every day, man. Every day. I started to do Bible studies with my children for the first time after Charlie Kirk's death.
Okay.
That was an immediate change,
Okay.
right? That I did not know enough of the Bible. So I go home, I read it, then I bring what I learned and I teach it to my children. I actually I bother this guy all the time at work too. Hey, this is what I learned in the Bible today, and I sit there and I run it by him, right? But it's the word in itself, and they themselves are starting to come to me and say verses. I'm like, I don't know that one. Where'd you learn that one from, right?
Awesome.
Right. We did it at church today with things. Okay, great. All right. I'm very happy. Did I ever tell you about my daughter's baptism?
No.
Oh, it's a very powerful message, man. It's an experience I had as a child, and it made me cry. Like, so while at church, and she was at Legacy. Shout out to Legacy, by the way. She was in the little area for them to do for their age group, right? And they're talking about how Peter lost faith, and while they were out on the sea, and he sunk in the ocean, right? And as he was sinking in the ocean, he was worried about her, right? And he's like, when I was worried about him, right? God came, and in that moment, she was like, "Oh my God, this is God." I was like, "What do you mean God came?" She's like, "Yeah, he was here, right next to me, Dad." And I was like, and it broke my heart. I was like, "Why?" It's like, I didn't deserve to be by him.
Wow.
Right? And I had a similar experience like that when I was a kid. And I was like, holy crap, man. I envy her, right? Because, I know that God is there, but I have not, since a kid, had that experience where I know that God was standing next to me.
Yeah.
I know he's there. I have my faith, right? But she says he was there. I was like, has God came by ever again? She's like, no, he doesn't come visit anymore, right? I was like, remember that moment because you are one of the blessed.
Yeah.
Because God doesn't show himself physically to everyone.
Yeah.
Right? And she has this memory now of God visiting her. And I think it's the most powerful thing, right?
It's amazing.
So I know that he's in her life, and it's going to be shaping her life for the rest of her life. I need, not that I don't need to do no more, but without intervention, I know he's there shaping her life.
That's powerful, for sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I like that you brought up the fact that it was an immediate change, right? Like after Charlie Kirk's passing, you made some immediate changes within the household. And I think that happened for a lot of people, myself included. We made a lot of changes, for example, honoring the Sabbath. Like that was huge for us. Did you have any immediate changes immediately after Charlie's passing?
No. It's, dude, I'm a stinking wretch, dude. I mean, at breakfast this morning, I had to sit down and get mentored by, another man, dude, and ask him, me and my wife, we had a, pretty big, fight last night. You know what I mean? So we have these kind of things that her and I deal with, and so
be careful. She's gonna watch this later.
Hey, that's fine. But what I'm saying, it kind of goes back into it, right? So how do we prepare, her and I? How do we prepare to have kids, right? And it's about living out our values, but that living congruently, right?
Yeah.
So it's about for me, how when Charlie Kirk passed, I was reading a lot more about him. I was already watching his videos and, like I say, watching him at Legacy, but I just kept digging more about wanting to know about him more and see his videos. And dude, that it hit me hard. Is that dude, I need to be a better man within my own household. Even going back to that question you said earlier, how do we share the gospel? It's I got to take care of my home first, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so God graciously blessed me with a wonderful wife, dude. She's super patient with me, and so I think he's molding me, and using folks like Charlie Kirk or Rocky or people within my life that are good mentors, good men of God, iron sharpening iron, right?
Yeah.
So that one day that I can pass this message on to my kids, because we do want to have kids, and so, but I need to prepare myself first, dude. And right now I'm thank God that he hasn't given us kids just yet, because I think it would be just not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you have today's troubles. You're
today's
not worried about
yeah, today's troubles, dude. So
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure my advice this morning was to humble yourself and trust your
Right.
wife.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's what it is, dude. It's about because it's about, going back to Charlie Kirk's message. You hear a lot of it is about strong men. How do we as men treat women?
Yeah,
and that's going back to it's almost as simple as that, dude. Every problem that we see within society is because of men not, being men. You know what I'm saying? You you said, Calvary. You go to Calvary, like, they have, like the man up kind of conferences, or like the rallies.
Yeah,
the rallies, dude. Those have been like instrumental in my life. Just seeing, being around other men, dude. It's powerful just to say, like, hey, dude, I struggle with these things, and so we all do as men, right? And so it's just about how do we become stronger, and because ultimately that's God created us different from women to have certain responsibilities apart from the woman, right?
Yeah.
And so we as men need to set ourselves up at a high, we need to set our standards higher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so for me, I'm still much in I'm still in a growth period right now. God is really
fine-tuning you.
Fine-tuning me, man. He has me in the middle of that refining period, dude. And I hate it, dude. I hate it. But Rocky told me something this morning that I kind of, again, I listened to it, and he says, embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, okay, God, like there's something to be said about the suffering, right? And that's how we get refined, dude, and prepare us, dude, because I mean that's basically what I'm going through right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, military influences a lot of my life.
It's a very good saying.
Yeah.
Living by that code.
I mean, I see you even got Goggins back here, dude.
Yeah.
Stay hard. Goggins has a lot of stuff too that's like, about, getting your mentality out there, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
That, dude, so.
Who is this? I don't know who
David
it is.
Goggins?
No.
Oh, man.
It's so easy to be
we could go a whole podcast on Goggins.
Man. Yeah, I mean, if hopefully this gets out to him too, man. Shoot. Shout out to David Goggins. He's kind of changed my life when I discovered him. I read a couple of books on him.
Wow.
He's known as the hardest man on the planet. Right, this guy has been through everything. He's a retired Navy SEAL, graduated Ranger School. I think he did. He graduated a few schools while in the Navy, man. Like Ranger School, he said in his own words that Ranger School is probably the most difficult school he's ever gone through in the military. But this guy runs post-military, dude. This guy, well, even during the military, he's I can't even begin to name accomplishments, man. He's like, he's done marathons, he's done rucks, he has like such a broken body, but nothing stopped him because it's all in the head for him, dude. Like he used to be overweight. You should just read a couple of his books, man. I'll lend them to you if you need to. But this guy's like, at one point in time, and he's a strong believer in God too, although he's not like really open about it. There's videos online of him, and he's like, yes, I believe in God, blah 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 blah, right? But he's more of like the get it mentality, like I'm going after it, yeah. But he had a turnaround point in his life where he was like so overweight, right? He was just watching he was at a dead end job. He was abused as a kid, like on his way to become a statistic, right? He was abused. His mother was abused, and he grew up to be different, right? And then obviously at one point in time, he was already an adult, full-grown adult, going nowhere, overweight. And then he saw, I think what changed him is like he saw a military recruiting video or something of the Navy SEALs, and he's like, dude, I want to do that. Like, I'm tired of being...
I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. They're pretty... The old...
I think it was the old school.
They're pretty badass. I don't know why they ever changed it, right? All the old ones are the best advertisements.
So yeah, that changed him. The recruiter told him, like, dude, if you even want to think about joining, he's like, you need to lose like 100 pounds or something. And he went and did it, dude. And from that point forward, dude, like he's just been get it, going after it. No excuses whatsoever. But I'll lend you a couple of books, man, because he's written 2 books, bro, and this guy's mentality is just off the chain.
Yeah.
Like, no one compares to him.
I want to point this out, because when I read this, I was like, wow, right? Because this is the message I told you this morning, right? So one things I say in therapy, if you come to therapy looking for happiness, you're only going to find sadness, sorrow, and grief. It is through sadness, sorrow, and grief that we change. So we must lean into it, not go away from it, right? If you come in to look for happiness, it's the wrong place for therapy. Because I'm going to ask you to talk about your sadness, sorrow, and grief, and then I'm going to use those to reframe your thoughts, right? So that you can grow and change as a person. And then I said, this is how powerful the Bible is, right? James 4, 8, and 9 go into the same thing. Actually, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to see if my phone's dead or not. Go to my Bible app. Let's see if it's still there because we brought it up this morning. Okay. It says, so humble yourself before the God. This is James 4:7. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come close to God and God will come close to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, purify your hearts, for your loyalty is divided between God and the world. This is where it comes. Let there be tears for what you have done. Let there be sorrow and deep grief. Let there be sadness instead of laughter and gloom instead of joy. Why gloom and sadness instead of joy and laughter? Right? God wants us to change. And God knows that change comes through challenges. Challenges come with suffering, sadness, and sorrow. And the one thing, it begins with humble yourself and ends with humble yourself. Humble yourself before the Lord and he will lift you up. This is the message I told him this morning. I told him to humble yourself, trust your wife, and God will lift you up, right? That lean into it, embrace the suck. Embrace the suck because God wants us to change. We're born sinners, we're born faulty, right? And in order to change, we must then, to have a good marriage, go through the suffering, go through the grief, go through things. If you're just living a life of happiness and joy, you're missing your growth, right? And I read that right now, and I'm going to read it right now. The only way that you, and this is David Goggins?
Yeah.
David Goggins, okay. The only way that you ever going to get to the other side of this journey is by suffering.
Yeah.
You have to suffer in order to grow. Some people get it and some people do not. And that's a direct correlation of the message I told my good friend here when he was having marriage problems. Like, you have to be able to suffer in your marriage to have a strong marriage.
Right.
Humble yourself and God will lift you up. And I was like, wow, it's the same message.
Yeah.
Right?
That's crazy. That's crazy that you put it that way. Yeah, I had no idea. I never connected the two. I like that you brought that up. But yeah, this guy in itself, man, he's just yeah, like no matter what, dude, he's been through the gauntlet, and he's like, just the other day, man, he has the most jacked up body, man, and he's still out there doing the Moab 240s and like all this crazy stuff, man. It's crazy. And then on top of that, I think he's like a volunteer. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he's a volunteer smoke jumper, or what do you call them? The ones that jump out and fight the fires, like in the middle of the smoke jumper. I think that's
like
what
a
it is.
hot shot.
Yeah.
Hot shot. That's
Hot
what
shot.
it is. Yes, that's one.
Dude,
He's a
really?
volunteer, like seasonal volunteer hot shot, on top of his broken knees and like cartilage rubbing on, like bone on bone. He has no cartilage on his knees because they're all gone, and he's just.
The key is he had God's word for change.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. That is the key. People run away, and I'll save you a therapy trip and money. Right. you want to change your life? Lean into your sorrow, sadness, and grief.
Yeah.
Right. Embrace it like a buddy.
Yeah.
Right. You have your demons. Let them sit next to you. Right.
I like that. I think a lot of people need to realize that. But yeah, and even a good example too is like we're all getting the same message, God's message, right? We go to two different churches. I know our other guest goes to Legacy too, and that's.
We're about to end, right?
I know. I don't know.
I don't think he's making it today.
Yeah, I don't think he's making it today. I'll have to find out what happened, man.
It's supposed to be 4 today, but it's 3. It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, something happened. We'll
find out. We'll do this again. We'll do this again.
Yeah, we could do another episode,
Part
a special
2,
episode.
Part
There
2.
you go. There you go. But yeah, do you guys need to cut it, or do you guys have a little more
We're about
time?
like 5 minutes. We can wrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, so bringing it back, circling it back, the immediate changes. I know I just mentioned an immediate change that our household had with immediately after Charlie Kirk's passing was again honoring the Sabbath. Now I was saved 2017 maybe because I grew up just like you. I grew up Catholic in a Catholic household.
Catholic too.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much the same upbringing, right? I was saved by Christ back in 2017. Although I was still going through some rough times back then. I still try to connect closer to God, but immediately after Charlie Kirk's passing, just like a whole different mindset, man, going into it. I'm like, I need to take this a little more seriously than what I have been in the past, right? Yeah. So honoring the Sabbath was a huge change. Excuse me. Taking the kids consistently to church every weekend, like no exceptions, right? That was something we didn't do. It was like we were on and off, which is sad to say, but now we're consistent with it.
It's normal.
We bought all Bibles for us, brand new Bibles. Every Sabbath we read together. We share what we read, what message we learned about, etc. Watching, shows like The Chosen. We started The Chosen. I don't know if you guys seen or heard of that on Amazon. Good, dude.
I did David on Amazon. That's pretty good too.
Okay, yeah, we need to get on that one.
I like that one.
But yeah, just those little things, those little changes going forward is going to make huge impacts in again, for me, my kids' lives moving forward, right? Passing the message on through them. And I like how you can see that the changes are making an impact. Like just the other day, my daughter, we were at the mall, right? And just to pass some time, and she passes by Claire's. Of course, every little girl wants to go to Claire's. And she was asking for a cross necklace, man. Like a cross necklace, cross earrings, like little things like that, right? Or like.
But here's the thing, right? Did they actually sell it?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they
yeah,
did.
she got a couple of items from there. I know. I was actually surprised. Or other little things like now she's kind of changing the music she's listening to, like because all my wife listens to is Christian music. That's all she listens to. If she's not listening to Candace Owens, she's listening to Christian music.
Have you heard of that Facebook star? His name is Dax or something like that. Does Christian music a little bit. It's pretty cool. Shout out to Dax too.
No,
you have to look it up.
Oh yes,
black guy.
Yes, I do know who Dax is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's Christian music. I know he used to be like full on hip hop.
Yeah, so he came out with a Christian song.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
He did the alcohol one, right?
Okay.
He's sober now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a few of his songs back in the day when I was a little knucklehead, but I didn't know he was like Christian now, like full on like making songs about it and everything.
Maybe we're not talking about the same guy. He's like a newer guy. Let me look see if I can find him.
No, I only know one Dax, black guy, rapper. Is he a rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And country.
Okay, yeah, he's totally changed paths then. Dang, where was I going? Oh, yeah, so now my daughter, all she requests now is, like, she'll be dancing and worshiping, like, listening to... She's a dancer, so yesterday, she just broke the news that she wanted to do her solo to a Christian song. Awesome. So you know what I mean? It's like the little things that are making the impact one by one. My son, he's a little more he's a little more rough on the edges. But again, it's not something that I want to feed down his throat, right? I don't want to make him like, and that goes for anything. You don't want to force feed them because then they end up, backlashing or, rebelling, so to speak, against you or something like that. But no, I think I think what we got going on, man, especially with this episode. So Rocky, again, shout out to you for coming up with this idea to bring us all together.
No, thank you, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
My gratitude to God above and to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. And so we'll wrap it up. I know you guys.
Who's this guy, by the way?
Got us. Yeah, that's Dax. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know.
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he made a full 180 then.
That's good.
Crazy. Yeah, good for him. God bless.
I only found him when he was doing the alcohol song and then the Scott song.
Wow.
In church, yeah.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
Yeah. Maybe he found God.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It looks like it.
God found him, really.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So as we're wrapping it up, do you guys have anything to say to leave this episode for the audience or anything like that?
Keep spreading the word.
Okay.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of I'll leave it to you to close this out, man. I mean, I'm just very thankful to be here. I appreciate, you and Rocky,
thank you,
giving
Tagle.
this opportunity just to be here. And,
Yeah.
Again, I just hope, I hope people just, again, continue to lean into God, and that, my prayer is always that God, his name be glorified, dude. And that, that whoever's watching this, that again, just like, God used Charlie, that, hopefully he'll use us, Robbie, to see somebody who's going to click on this view and just say like, hey man, that I can relate to that. And it just resonates. And so I just hope that, again, that we can continue to use things like this to spread that message and glorify God's name.
Amen. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the conversation that we have here, because our fourth guest didn't show up here, or third guest, I should say. We'll probably have to bring this back around,
okay.
which is fine. Life happens.
I'm willing to do it, man.
I know he wouldn't miss it if there's something urgent that happens. So, but we got some stuff. We definitely got some more stuff to unpack. So we'll probably do a round 2, maybe part 2, something like that.
Round 2.
But again, shout out to my sponsor, Rocky Villi, and the Rock Family Therapy LLC. If you guys, ever need anyone to talk to, if you don't want to talk to me, hit up Rocky. He's got a great organization going on his end of things. But again, thank you for sponsoring this podcast, brother. Really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And until next time, we will see you guys on the next episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Hope you enjoyed this special Veterans Day Charlie Kirk episode. Peace out, guys.
Thank you, guys.